everyone. Welcome to we're popping up. We're going to be talking about the big D23 Ultimate Fan Event news. I'm Rebecca Mosley, the co-founder of Laughing Place. And over there is Benji, who I call the CEO, and he always balks, but that's the title I'm giving him, and I co-founded the site. So there you go.
Whatever you says go, but it doesn't mean I have to like it.
So here we are. Yeah, lots of exciting news happening within that Disney fan realm with today's announcement of finally we have ticket prices and kind of an overall view of what's happening with the event. So I guess first off, Ben, let's just kind of discuss what they said is coming during the 3 days of Disney fan fun.
So it's a little bit of a switch, and I know not everyone might be familiar, but basically it's the main event is 3 days, August 9th, 10th, and 11th, and the Anaheim Convention Center will be host to shopping, panels, booths, and experiences each day, and from 9 to 7 p.m. And then at night, there will be a marquee event held at the Honda Center, which is a little bit of a ways. But so the first night will be the Disney Entertainment Showcase. So that would be movies, television, anything that involves a screen of some sort. And then for Saturday night is the parks, Disney Experiences Showcase. So parks, products, video games, whatever else they throw in there. And then Sunday is a little bit of an earlier start. It's at 5 o'clock for the Legend ceremony, hosted by Ryan Seacrest, presumably a future Disney legend himself.
Right, exactly. And we've got the list of legends. I'm sure we'll be talking about them a little bit later and letting you know kind of more about who was selected and what we know about their careers within Disney. But I know the big question that's been on a lot of people's minds has been pricing. And the pricing came out. They have 3 different, I'm going to call them categories of tickets available, because within that you have tiers. So the first category I'm going to mention is the D23 Fan Pass. This one is specifically for that Anaheim Convention Center location. So this is for the various panels and those kind of expo type activities that you have. And then then if you are somebody who want to attend those big presentations over in the Honda Center, that's where you're going to be looking at this D23 Ultimate Fan Pass. And you can either get a 1 day and pick your day, or a 3 day and be able to go throughout the entire event. So we have a question over here, Ben. I'm curious, has there been any talk about whether we'll see any of this content, shared on streaming platforms?
Yeah, I believe some of it will be shared on Disney Plus for subscribers. I don't know what or how much. I would presume parks would be. I would presume Legends would be. Studios, I don't know. I mean, usually the footage becomes a problem, so maybe it's one of those things where they show it but cut away, or I don't have that information.
Yeah.
Specifically, but yeah, there should be a significant presence on Disney Plus. One of the things that is different this time is Disney now has a chief brand officer, Asad Ayaz, who is also part of the entertainment team, the Disney entertainment team. So markets movies primarily and some Disney Plus shows. So it's a little bit more integrated. It's not just sort of corporate communications doing that thing. I mean, it's just sort of like, okay, this is a big brand moment. I think, I was, with all the challenges Disney had, it was a little, like, okay, is D23 even going to make it? D23 is a nice to have, not have to have. But I'm glad to see that they've really invested in it. And, obviously the Honda Center event space will allow, twice as many people to see the big presentations than they could at even Hall D23.
So back to the pricing, with that Ultimate Fan Pass, you're looking at admission to the Honda Center along with the convention center items. Now, what's what's the difference, Ben, between the Ultimate Fan Pass and what they're calling the Ultimate Preferred Fan Pass?
So the Ultimate Preferred Fan Pass would include show floor tickets. So if you're familiar with like a concert, um, the Ultimate Fan Pass is in the bowl. You can see that they have 400 level and 200 level tickets, and then um, the people in the bowl would be sitting kind of where the ice would be during a Ducks game, and kind of you can make your choice as to what obviously you can see the pricing here and what that value is to you, but that's a choice you can make. It's essentially, if you're buying either the Ultimate Fan Pass or the Ultimate Preferred Fan Pass, you're essentially buying it as you would buy a concert. You're buying.
And my understanding, and I hope my team's in the chat as well to help out to make sure I'm getting all the information correct, because there was a lot of information to process today. But my understanding is when you pick up your Ultimate Fan Pass, that will guarantee you admission into the Honda Center. And with this Ultimate Preferred, you're going to have that same seat throughout the event. With the Ultimate Fan Pass, you're maybe in a different position within the zone, as it were.
So I think so you definitely have the same seat if you get the Ultimate Preferred Fan Pass.
Yeah.
But you should also be having
an assigned. It said assigned seat, and the language with the Ultimate Preferred was same seat. So to me, that means that I might have, like, let's say in the 400 level, I have like H5 one day. I may end up with H12 a different day. Was the way I processed.
But you'll still be in the same section,
correct,
so to speak. So the reason being, you would have if you buy a 1 day, I think just to give them flexibility for the people that buy 1 day tickets compared to a 3 day ticket. Yeah. Well,
no. Okay, so here's my question for you as you understand the ticketing process. And I know that some of this information we'll be sure to let you know when we're speculating versus actual information that we received. But I know that they've made a point of letting people know that the Honda Center.
So I'm sorry, the Ultimate 3 day ticket, the 3 day ticket includes an assigned seat.
Okay.
The 1 day ticket includes a reserved seat.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I that's an important distinction to make. So so with the reason I'm asking is because they've made note that the Honda Center is going to be open 2 hours ahead of the presentation, but it seems to me I will already know my seat before I arrive. Am I misinterpreting? Do you think?
No, I think it's opening 2 hours, just like a hockey game would. So you can go get your hot dog and soda and get your seat, and give them time to get in there. There may be merchandise component. I don't know that for a fact, but
right.
And usually they do some sort of pre-show, like not anything worth getting, but like a PowerPoint kind of thing. So, my understanding is you will have, a seat location when you arrive.
Yeah, see, that's
because the tickets to the Honda Center will be delivered digitally or by e-ticket. So I imagine it's going to be using a similar system to you would to anything at the Honda Center, where you're going to go in, they're going to scan your phone or what have you, and you're going to walk in, and then the more traditional badge will be used primarily for the Anaheim Convention Center.
And just to give you an overview of the difference of those price levels that you were just looking at, there's a nice simple chart that shows you how the Ultimate Preferred Pass has access to everything with a preferred floor seating, and then the other levels do not include that element, but you can attend all the other aspects of it. The one interesting thing I saw that some people were chatting about was that there didn't seem to be additional bonuses to the Ultimate Preferred beyond the seating.
Which is what the same that happened last year. They had a Hall D23 reserved preferred seating ticket, which included access to Hall D23, but nothing else. So it didn't give you access to anything outside of that main room. So this is essentially the same thing, just moved over to Honda Center, and presumably a lot more tickets because if the whole 100, the whole floor level is that.
And for all the ticketing information, I put a link in the chat for you. Actually, I think I accidentally linked to a picture. Let me try that again. Put a link in the chat to the article we wrote earlier today with all that information. The aspect of this coordination, okay, so Ben, you and I have both been to all of the D23, what had been known as expos, now are called Ultimate Fan Events. We've been to all of them over the years. I am actually excited now by this delineation of content. In the past, there's just been a lot of challenge and drama regarding access to these big showcase events. And with the kind of the breakout of these big events, it sounds like the show floor is going to close at, did you 7. Tell me 7? And then we have these events across the way, so you can kind of, you can.
And I would not recommend leaving the show floor at 7 if you're trying to get these events. That would not be good. But for those that don't want to, are electing not to attend, or don't have that kind of ticket, that could be kind of a golden hour for you, because you'll have 14,000 people not there.
Yeah, no, that's what I was thinking. I was thinking that's nice that there's going to be still have that opportunity, because I used to skip all the large events and just stay on the show floor and use that time to really be able to see things without a lot of people around. But the other aspect is there's going to be a lot of convention center space for them to use. So because we've got the show floor, and then we have 5 stages: the premiere stage, the Walt Disney Archive stage, the Hyperion stage, the backlot stage, and area they're describing as the spotlight stage, which is going to be on the show floor. I'm thinking it's going to be similar to what we saw last time, where we could watch kind of the presentations that were going on in the other room, and then they also had some other conversations there. That's how it strikes me. Maybe it's a little bit more organized than it was then.
My understanding too, just for scope perspective, is that the premiere stage is the D20 is the arena, the Anaheim Convention Center arena. So
yeah, that is how it is described in the write-up, exactly.
Because my initial concern, I was like, okay, great, but now you have 7,000 people who aren't in Hall D23. But so if you're giving up Hall D23, which is fine, but you're not doing big stages elsewhere, that could cause a logjam for these, because you'll have guaranteed seat at the Honda Center, but you're not going to have a guaranteed seat at these other stages. There's a reservation component to this that we're, hopefully going to figure out soon. But, I think it's interesting.
Yeah, much like they did last time, they're going to do a pre-reserve opportunity. They said up to 8 events. You're going to be able to put your name, it's kind of like a lottery in a way. You put your requests in, and then you get back some and not all of your requests. The nice thing is this time they're taking those really big ticket items kind of out of the equation. So if you're buying the preferred, no, I'm going to get the language wrong here. Let me try again. No, it's the ultimate. If you buy the ultimate, you're getting into the Honda Center. If you buy the preferred, you're getting on the show floor of the Honda Center. So ultimate, if you buy that ultimate fan pass, you're going to be able to see that parks presentation that tends to be the highlight, that studios presentation, and the legends. So because I had a friend last time around, Gio, who watches the channel a lot, actually ended up not getting into any of those big panel events. So like I say, it'll be interesting to see. I think the hardest thing as a Disney fan is, will they guess right as to where they put things? Because they have large venues and smaller venues, and will they put the thing that actually has the bigger demand in the bigger venue or not? And sometimes it's surprising to see what kind of ends up being the popular thing that maybe you didn't think was going to be the popular thing.
Well, and to be fair too, they have, there's logistics that go into,
Mm-hmm.
rehearsal time, talent
Yep.
availability, so sometimes something they wanted to be in a bigger stage can't be because it's, only can go at this time for whatever reason. So it gets moved. There's a lot that goes into it, placing things where they go. But, I'm hoping, and, now that I believe last year they used the new Anaheim Convention Center North upper level for presentations too, which
Mm-hmm.
means that they really have three big venues. They
Mm-hmm.
have the 300 level. I mean, I don't know that this is what they're doing, but historically they would have the arena, which is big, the 300 level, which is big, and then the new 200 level, which can be big. So, it's not, and then archive stage and I think backlot stage are usually two smaller ones. But if they use them to the fullest effect, extent that they can, that would make up for the lack of the sort of not having any big presentations, kind of drawing attention away in the morning.
So one of the big events of the Ultimate Fan Event is the Legends.
Yes, that is true.
And they
We got some. It's big Disney news, but not big Disney branded news. So I'm gonna just put it in
and
here.
they've declared this year the 2024 Disney Legends, quite a broad scope of the Disney company represented here, whether it's parks, film, animation, TV, a variety.
Yeah, it's a good list. You got, I mean, there's folks that are, we know, like Mark Henn and Martha Blanding, and then you have.
Well, okay, hold up. We know Martha Blanding. I would not the overall fan. I would have said Mark Head, Angela Bassett. These are like
No, no, no.
people.
I meant like we know, like we could say hello and say it's good to see you again. I
Oh,
mean,
okay, I
yeah.
gotcha. Like, okay,
No,
well,
not like famous, but
okay.
yeah. So it's nice to see that the Disney Legend Award has become a little bit more celebrity focused as it became a selling feature of the D23. And I don't think anyone on this list is not deserving. There's been other times when I went like, really, I think everyone here has made a profound impact to the Walt Disney Company or one of its acquired companies. Obviously, Steve Ditko, creating Spider-Man, Harrison Ford, Frank Oz, Kelly Ripa, Joe Rohde, John Williams, Miley, Jamie Lee Curtis, James Cameron, James L. Brooks. It's more of a 21st Century Fox kind of thing, but okay. Angela Bassett, Colleen Atwood. Those are all legit people. And I'm excited to have Ryan Seacrest host it because he's just a good host. I mean, not that Tamron Hall or any Tom Bergeron, and not that the previous hosts weren't good, but he's a good host. And if you're going to be doing it in an arena, you need someone that has big presence.
Can we just do like a quick run through of kind of like what you would consider the signature element that boosts them to Disney Legend for Colleen Atwood?
Well, Colleen Atwood, I mean, a famous costumer. I don't know that I could pick any one project. Cruella, comes to mind. Alice in Wonderland, like just a lot of those stylized costumes that have become famous. And Angela Bassett is obviously has done a lot of work for Disney. Most recently is starred 911 on ABC, but also has performed, has voiced fireworks shows in the park, voiced the Imagineering Story, narrator of Queens, and
Marvel Universe role too, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely. From Black Panther and Black Panther Wakanda Forever. So great. Martha Blanding, the first African American tour guide at Disneyland, but we primarily know her as a merchandise event lead manager, and has had a long connection with the fan base. And so excited to see her. James L. Brooks, famous director, but I'm not going to remember which of his movies are 21st Century Fox off the top of my head. but I'm sure it's in the email. Um,
Am I wrong to think of him directly with The Simpsons? When you say James L. Brooks, The Simpsons comes to my mind. Celestino, I see you in the green room. Am I mistaken? No, I am right that there is a
yeah,
connection there. Okay, good.
yeah,
So I
he's
was like, am
like,
I just making that up?
no, you're not. I forget about because his name is there, but you don't think of him as like the active producer, but obviously made it happen. Um,
And then Cameron, Avatar, obviously, and then
amongst
many
other
other things. Jamie Lee Curtis, most recently, Haunted Mansion, right?
yeah, Haunted Mansion. I was shocked that they didn't bring up Universe of Energy in her
Oh, that's funny. Yeah.
bio, but
Super
and
Judy, right? Isn't
Super
that
Judy,
Karen Russell?
Freaky Friday,
Freaky Friday.
obviously,
Yeah.
True Lies.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Now, Miley, I mean, we're talking Hannah Montana, we're talking Disney Channel, global sensation.
yeah, I mean
And
the biggest Disney Channel star of all time, right? So,
well, I think some might argue Britney, but yeah, okay.
well,
Miley.
no, I mean there's a difference between became a big star versus the biggest star while they were on Disney Channel.
Okay. I'll give you that. And and Miley, her performance at one of I can't remember, was it the original
Yeah,
D23, was ridiculously amazing. And it was fun because there had been some buzz that she was gonna be there, and some of my peers were kind of poo-pooing it. I was like, oh, whatever, that young punk. And I was like, no, you don't understand. She's got it. She is more than just this Miley, this Hannah Montana thing you're aware of. And they were blown away by her performance. And she's gone on, obviously, to just be a mega star. Yeah, Tony argues Hillary Duff,
yeah.
maybe that's
I
another
think
one.
Hilary Duff is the proto
Yeah.
Miley Cyrus. Yeah, I mean, I think Hilary Duff would also be deserving, but Miley Cyrus was just at a level, I think because I mean, in fairness, because of the house Hilary Duff built, but Miley was, the kind of the apex. So, like Hillary to me is Little Mermaid, and Miley Cyrus is the Lion King. Like it just kept building, and then it came tumbling down.
Kyle pointing out, yes, she had the best of both worlds. Nice
Yeah.
one. Nicely played,
They
Kyle.
should induct Hannah Montana too.
And wouldn't that be fun? I wonder if she'll come out and do some Hannah Montana, or if if she's just kind of left that behind.
Yeah,
Wouldn't that
I mean, I know she had that point where she's like, "I'm done," but as people get older,
yeah. You embrace it a
Steve,
little bit more because it's not
Steve,
as threatening. It's not as threatening as how you're going to be defined forever when you burst far beyond it. So Steve Ditko is not as familiar a name to me.
okay, he's a co-creator of Spider-Man, Doctor Strange.
Okay.
Very reclusive. I mean, he passed away, but so he wasn't out there like Stan Lee was. But
Okay.
Many would say he was the creator of Spider-Man. Harrison Ford,
obviously.
yeah,
Indiana Jones, Han
Mark
Solo.
Henn, famed animator. Ariel. We could go on and on. Frank Oz.
Tony, you list for me Mark Henn's highlights because I trust you more than that guy. Go ahead, Frank Oz.
Frank Oz, Miss Piggy himself, Yoda, director of movies such as Muppets Take Manhattan, and I just looked up. He had another movie that he did that was like ended up being a Disney movie, but I forget what it was. Maybe Bowfinger. And in fact, Alex has a recap. He just did a podcast with Leonard and
Malton.
Jesse Malton.
Yeah.
And so Alex has a recap out of South by Southwest. Kelly Ripa from the Kelly Ripa Show. Joe Rohde, Animal Kingdom, amongst other projects at Imagineering, and John Williams. I hope I don't have to tell you.
Oh, no, I am a very big fan of the Maestro. So excited by that announcement. So, oh, by the way, do be pointing out Frank Oz Little Shop? Is that what you were
Yeah, but I don't believe that's a Disney production.
Oh, okay, so maybe Bowfinger was the one you were thinking of.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, it's because I only know this because I looked it up when I was at the podcast taping not that long ago. But let's see here.
And Tony Betty coming in to point out Marken, Simba,
Yeah.
Minnie Maui, and Mickey in Mickey's Christmas Carol. So those are some of the Marken Disney marks that he has made within his long career there.
I would also so Frank Oz too. Yoda.
Mm-hmm.
And voices characters in Inside Out and Inside Out 2. I don't know if we knew that until I read this press release. So.
Oh, okay, very cool. Also, as part of this event, they're gonna be showcasing a collection of beautiful cars that you may have seen over the years. And I know that some of them were on display today, and we had them on our Twitter feed this morning.
And my understanding too is it's not going to be like an exhibit where you queue up and you walk in. If they're just going to be present, it's going to be an exhibit that's kind of open where you can walk up and take a look. So a little less guarded. I mean, I'm sure it's still guarded from a safety standpoint, but not.
I understand what you mean. It's more open air. By the way, if you're not following us on Twitter, then you missed out on seeing Cruella de Vil's 1974 Panther, a classic blue and yellow Disneyland tram. I love these things. Do you remember that time that we got so excited about seeing these that we just rode back and forth a couple of times?
Yeah, according to Jeremiah, that was like the hot ticket item at this press event.
Well, of course, because there's so many memories attached to these little things. They're so, I don't know, they're precious. And then Sharpay's convertible. So, a number of cars are going to be on display at the event, and that's just part of your admission. When you're buying your ticket, you'll want to be sure to check out the various merchandise that you can order when you buy your ticket. These are items that they say will not be available at the expo itself. And that has been the case in the past, where they have select merchandise that you buy as part of your ticket purchase and they aren't available at the expo. They will have D23 event merchandise at the expo itself, but different historically than what they offer you when you make your ticket purchase. So be sure, if someone has the link to that merchandise article and they can throw it in the chat, I'd appreciate it a lot. Ben, you're probably somebody who's ordered that merchandise in the past. Do you receive it before the expo so you can wear it?
Yeah, that's usually the way it works.
Okay.
So you can, yeah.
Hey, for those of us who have never done it, we don't know.
No. It's a good question. I only say usually because, things change and you presume that everything happens the way it did before, and then you realize, no, wait, that's an assumption.
Check it out. I already have a Sorcerer Mickey hat because Roosevelt sent me one, but I guess the Sorcerer Mickey is going to be featured in a lot of the D23 Ultimate Fan Event merchandise. I want to say thanks.
They couldn't afford the Steamboat Willie rights.
Yeah, right? I know, exactly. So this year, Ben, they're going to do a lot of kind of surrounding events for the days leading up to it, including over at Anaheim Stadium. What you want to highlight? Are you excited about this?
I love the Angels. I'm an Angels fan, so I like the bobblehead that they're going to be giving away, and it's baseball. Like, I can't think of a better way to start a crazy week than hanging out with my friends watching baseball.
Mm-hmm.
And
the calm before the storm.
Yeah, and baseball, they'll do the stuff between the innings and all that stuff that kind of promotes it. So I'm excited. I kind of hope it gets flexed to the Sunday night game, just so like people at home can watch it on ESPN.
And we all don't get sunburned sitting out in the stands.
Yeah. I mean, this website would not exist if it wasn't for the Angels. I mean,
isn't that the funniest thing?
But it wouldn't exist as it does today.
No, it is true. There are so many aspects of Laughing Place that were developed and kind of massaged and realized while sitting in the the right field seats of Anaheim Stadium during their victory many years ago. Too many to think about.
Edison International Field of Anaheim.
So that's happening on Sunday, April 4th. Then on April 5th, you can catch a screening of The Incredibles in Anaheim. They're going to be doing that out at the Pearson Park Amphitheater. So tickets are going to be available for that as well. Oh, by the way, regarding the tickets, I forgot to mention that it is a tiered pricing dynamic in that the release of the tickets are general public is going to be March 28th. But if you are a gold D23 gold subscriber, then you can get your tickets on March 26th, beginning at 12 p.m. Pacific. If you are, and that's like there's a window. It's like from the 26th to some period of time on the 27th, they're going to have some tickets available to the gold. And then on the next day at noon, so March 27th at noon, gold levels subscribers who also have the Disney Visa, they're going to release another set of tickets out to that contingent. And then the remaining will be all general admission on the 28th. So it'll be interesting to see what sells out, what's remaining. I'm eager to see how this all plays out. But yeah, overall, I think I'm more excited about this D23 Expo than others. Tony is mentioning the D23 night at the Anaheim Packing District sounds fantastic. He'd like to watch the hipsters locals who have no idea what they're walking into, because the Packing District is going to be hosting an event where they're going to have some of the Ravensburger contingent on hand as well, it sounds like, right?
Yeah, they're going to be having Larcana as well as Villainous. I don't know if they're just going to be there playing, or what the exact details are. But yeah, I mean, Anaheim Packing District's a lot of fun, and so it's nice that especially with everything going on with Disneyland Forward, that Disney's embracing all of Anaheim. I mean, Pearson Park is obviously it is a legendary park in Anaheim, and the Packing District is kind of the next wave of downtown. Downtown Anaheim. So I'm excited. And yeah.
So Doobie's asking a question. I know he knows the answer. Will Laughing Place be at the Expo? And by Expo, he means Ultimate Fan Event. What are the plans for Laughing Place? We want to be talking about what you can expect from Laughing Place during the D23 Ultimate Fan Event.
Yeah, I presumably we'll have a booth. I mean, obviously, we've been the team. Kyle's does a great job leading our expo planning, and then Doobie and Gideon are usually at the booth, and we have a team covering it, whether they're there as press or they're there just kind of helping us out. So yeah, I mean, it's obviously the biggest event of the year, one of two expos this year, or two D23 events. So yeah, so please stop by the booth if you can.
Okay, Tony doesn't feel like I paid enough attention to that Anaheim Packing District event, and he's right, because they do mention that there's going to be Disney trivia, there's going to be tasting packages, there's going to be DJs. So, I mean, it sounds like a lot of fun is going to happen over there at the packing. Now, Ben, these additional things, you don't have to have been going to the event in order to go to these, or it's separate but nearby?
Yeah, so I think, I mean, I can't speak to, so the Angel tickets you can buy on your own. The Incredible screening you can buy on your own. The Packing District.
Yeah, I was looking for that too. I was trying to see if that's a more of an add-on or a.
It looks like it's just something you go to, and just a way to drive folks over to that area.
It says you have to be a D23 gold member to participate. So in that World Taste Pass.
Yeah, but that's just a food and beverage offering.
Gotcha.
So whether you want to just go enjoy the DJs and stuff like that, I think that's open to the public.
Okay, cool. There you go. Doesn't require admission. Seems like there's tasting passes. So just some area fun. And then also the Disneyland Resort itself is going to be getting in on the D23 excitement, and that's on August 8th, and they're promising all kinds of fun and frivolity throughout the Disneyland Resort, even into the downtown Disney district, which obviously that doesn't require a park reservation. You can just wander into downtown Disney district to have some of that D23 day fun.
My warning would be keep an eye on park reservations.
I know.
When they 60 days out, if you're a Magic Key holder, because that might be a hard day to get in.
D23
Also,
hype.
just on the D23 homepage, it says the Disneyland Day is August 7th. It is August 8th. It is not August 7th.
What is August 8th?
The Disneyland Day.
Oh, did I say a wrong day?
No, it's wrong on the D23 website. So,
okay.
Just keep that in mind.
Oh no, it says August 8th now.
No, if you go to d23.com, like the main thing.
I'm on d23.com. See, d23.com.
No. Go to like the D23, like the.
Oh, okay, gotcha. But on the D23 at Disneyland page, ta-da! It's
That's
there.
right.
Check it out. Check it out. Retired DCP helper Ben. This is a picture from stopping by our booth last year because we have all kinds of fun stuff at our booth.
Is that Disney College Program or Disney Consumer Products? I have questions.
Yeah, so many questions.
Follow up.
Too many. So yeah, so a lot of I'm excited. I can't tell if I'm more excited than you, but I am excited. I'm nervous.
To be fair, I'm overwhelmed. It's because we have lots of decisions that need to be made and not a lot of time to do it. Right? Tickets go on sale any day now. Right? Next Tuesday.
Yep.
A week from today.
Next Tuesday. So here you are once again. If you're trying to decide, the ones to the far right, those are your 1 or 3 day access to the Anaheim Convention Center only. That's going to have the expo show floor. So lots of amazing interactions with people from Pixar, from Disney consumer products, from Disney Studios, animation, live action, Hulu. That's where you find those things like in the years past when you've seen people jump into the money bin. That's over there at the convention center, and also 5 different stages of various panels. But if you want to be at those large events like the studios presentation where they're showing you all those film clips of the upcoming movies and bringing out celebrities, or if you want to be there for when Josh D'Amaro is telling you all the great plans that may or may not happen in the future, or if you want to be there for, that was mean. I'm sorry. That was, if you want to be there for all the parks excitement.
Which does not necessarily condone the actions.
And announcements. Or if you want to be there for the Disney Legends ceremony, then that's when you want to make sure that you pick up the Ultimate Fan Pass, that D23 Ultimate Fan Pass, for 1 day if you want to pick one of those, or for the 3 day if you want to be able to attend all of those along with the convention center stuff. And if you want to make sure that you're seated on the floor, where the ice is in the Honda Center, then you would want to pick up that Ultimate Preferred Fan Pass and pick your designated section that you're interested in. So I'm pumped. I'm not gonna lie.
Let's do this.
I was not at all excited about this until the information dropped, and that sizzle reel that they put up. I am a sucker for a good sizzle reel.
Oh, amen.
I thought that was a good sizzle reel.
This is what
right?
inspires us. Thank you to all the audience members.
I mean, it's some good fun. It reminds you of how fun it is to be in a large venue with a bunch of fellow fans. It's a place where you get to be decked out in all your Disney stuff, and nobody's going to look at you weird. You can yell.
I love D23. I mean, there's been challenges throughout the years, and there's been successes throughout the years, but and the key is to enjoy what you get to do and not worry about what you don't get to do.
That's the hardest part.
Yeah, it is, but it's if you take a step back, even if you do what you stumble upon, if that's what it was billed at and you just did it, you would think it's worth it. It's that there's more you can't do that fogs your understanding of it. So, you go like, okay, I got to do this, and this. Did I have a good time doing those things, even if I know there's things I wanted to do so bad that I didn't get to, but I still got to do X, Y, and Z. You know, it's a mental shift. It's hard. I'm not trying to say it's not, but as someone who, for various reasons, doesn't do a lot at expos, you know, it's, you know, but the best part, and this is going to sound so hokey, but is just being surrounded by other Disney fans. And, you know,
agreed.
it's just talking to everyone everyone you see walking down the street is going to be a Disney fan. And, you know, that's pretty cool.
My path to Expo was very different because Gideon was an infant when the first Expo happened. So I went to the Expo knowing I wasn't going to get a lot done because I had a baby, right? So I'm not bringing him into the huge presentations. And if I do, it's because he's asleep and I'm hoping he stays that way. And if he doesn't, I'm going to be leaving, you know, this kind of thing. So I went in with a really different expectation and I ended up having a blast. And just, it's kind of been similar over the years because the next Expo, he was just a toddler. So once again, I'm not going to be having him sit with me in the arena for the big thing. So we were just exploring the show floor and I just found that I have a tremendous amount of fun just exploring the show floor. And if I happen to get into a presentation, then, you know, that was a delightful surprise. But I actually have been to very few of the large venue presentations, even though I've been going to every single expo, but I also don't shop, right? I'm not like, there isn't like that item that I must have and I have to queue up for hours in order to buy it. I go once the lines died down and I pick up what I see that I like and then I move on. Because once again, it was just, I had a different, you know, kind of dynamic within my life. So I have fun.
And it's interesting to me. And as I get older, you know, it's so cool to be in the presentation when they talk about the latest movie and all the celebrities come out. But then the movie comes out and then it's over. What I find more interesting is stuff like this on the archive stage where you're actually learning something you can carry away. Because, I mean, how many movies do we get so hyped of it at D23 and then they're duds? Or, you know, like, oh, you know, and not that that moment is only for that moment. At some point, you know, the attraction that they announce is going to be something you ride all the time. So what's more interesting, learning about like the behind the scenes or learning that this attraction will eventually become commonplace in your day to day? And I'm not trying to discourage people from going to Honda Center, and I think Honda Center is a great way to handle it.
Yeah, no, totally.
You know, and so, but at the same time, you know, I just think about the hours I waited to watch a 5-minute clip of a movie I now own on Blu-ray. And you're like, what was I doing here? Like you just go like,
no, it's the hype, it's the fun, it's the
I know, but I'm not saying that. But for the people that can't do it, no, you're still going to have memories that will probably last longer than being part of that. It's fun to be part of the hype machine. Yeah. I agree, but you know, there's more stuff there than just the big announcements, because those big announcements will become just things.
And just as a reminder, these are when those tickets are going to go on sale. So if you are interested in D23, circle it on your calendar, especially if you have a particular hope regarding which ticket category you're interested in, because this is a new dynamic. And so we're really kind of unsure what to expect as far as those ticket sales do go. I guess there's other stuff happening in the world of Disney.
I know. Who knew? Mike, come on in. There was a trailer that came out that I don't know that I had time to process because, you know, D23. But
there's a lot of Jedi.
I know how much you love the Jedi.
I know. I did think of you. I was like, oh, there's a lot of Jedi for poor Mike.
It's fine. I'm still really excited for the Acolyte, even though it's about the Jedi.
Many of them will probably end up dead, if that makes you feel better.
Yeah, I mean, all of them eventually will end up dead, if we want to look at it that way.
I guess in every movie, everyone will end up dead eventually.
Wow. Wow. Look at you guys. Total Sith. I'm just hanging out with a bunch of Sith over here.
So this morning, Lucasfilm dropped the trailer after we got a warning yesterday that it was coming. And we've got 2 different posters now, 2 different kind of teaser posters for the Acolyte. And it all looks very, very cool. And there's lots of Jedi running around, lots of lightsabers, and it looks like maybe even some Sith, which, you know, it's going to be interesting to see how they pull this off, because it's a big deal in the prequel trilogy, which takes place after this, that the Sith have not been around for a long time. So we'll see how that goes. But I'm right now I'm combing through every shot in the trailer. I'm learning all the characters' names and writing about what I think is going on in what we saw today. I know it's very similar to what they showed last year at the Star Wars Celebration in London. I know that they did remove some shots. People have noted that on social media. There's some shots missing from what we saw almost a year ago, but otherwise very similar. And it does make me pretty excited for this show coming out at the beginning of June.
What element of this story is particularly grabbing you, Mike? Here, I'm going to share the poster right here. Is there a different take on the world of Star? I mean, what is this bringing? Is this bringing something different to our Star Wars experience? I guess is what I want to ask you.
Well, I think we haven't really seen the Jedi at their height.
Okay.
But, you know, that's the whole pitch of the High Republic, because this show does take place. They've said it's the end of the High Republic era, which is this kind of newly introduced period in the Star Wars timeline. It's like a couple hundred years before the prequel trilogy. The Jedi are at their height in the books. So this has been going since early 2021. There's a lot of books and comics, but the High Republic is a story about the Jedi dealing with this faction of villains called the Nihil, Nihil. So they're the main enemies of the publishing side. This looks like it's going to be more about bridging the gap between that story and what we see in the prequels with the Jedi going up against the Sith, because you know, there's not, again, it's a big deal that the Sith aren't around for a long time. There's no Sith in the High Republic books or anything, but you do see the red lightsaber in this trailer. So I think that's a big hint as to what they're going to be, you know, who the antagonists are going to be. And it's important to point out too that there is at least one character carrying over from the books. Her name is Vernestra Rwoh, RWOH, however you want to say that. And she's very heavily featured in the books. She's also in this trailer. She pops up a couple times. So there are connections there to the publishing side, which I think people are very excited about. And I am excited as well, having, you know, followed along with the High Republic from the beginning. It's going to be nice to see it pay off in this way.
Can I ask you a canon question? So,
yes.
I mean, and I'm not a Sith expert, but my understanding was that, you know, Darth Bane created this rule of two. So there's a master and apprentice. And is it presumed that basically there was constantly a master and apprentice all the way through, you know, Palpatine?
Yeah. So I actually just recently listened to the audiobook of Darth Plagueis, which is no longer canon. It's part of the Legends timeline, but they talk a lot about that and how there is this kind of continued line of master being replaced by apprentice. And the interesting thing is, like, as soon as there's an apprentice, there's like that competition between them, because the apprentice basically wants to get rid of the master and take his place. So it's not a friendly relationship necessarily between master and apprentice, and that goes all the way through to, you know, Darth Vader and Darth Sidious. But yeah, the idea is they've been like kind of hiding in the shadows that whole
presumably
time.
causing some mischief, right? Like,
yeah,
just, I mean, that's, you know,
it's not their own juices. Yeah,
it's not like Palpatine was birthed out of in the ether, and
right,
you know, he wasn't trained by somebody who was untrained by. So you know,
right. But
he's the one that executed this grand plan that caused Star Wars. But
yeah,
you know, to me, it's interesting. It's like there's always been sort of a question, and they've referenced it obviously in the Plagueis book. It's not canon anymore, and you know, he talks about, kind of alludes to it in Revenge of the Sith. But like, to me, it's always been interesting. It's like, how did this machination? When did this start? Yeah. When did the thought of finally taking control of the galaxy? I mean, you know, and I don't know if this show is going to get there, but I've always been kind of interested in, what happened before Star Sidious. Like, how did we get to that?
It's going to be very interesting to see how much of that they get into. And I think the only conflict that comes up is the fact that the Jedi don't know that the Sith are still around at the beginning of the prequels. But I'm sure they will address that. I'm sure they thought of that as they were writing this show. So it's a lot of good questions going on.
And particularly because Yoda doesn't know, and Yoda is alive in the High Republic.
Right. Yeah. Yoda being alive is another great point, because he is definitely part of the High Republic. He pops up a lot in those books and comics, and he is part of the Jedi Council already in the High Republic. So if they cut to the Jedi Council in the Acolyte, it would be weird if Yoda is not there. So, with Frank Oz receiving his Disney Legend Award coming up, will we see him reprising that role in this series? It doesn't seem unlikely to me.
I didn't think about how. Wait! I didn't think about how exciting this Legends list must be for you, Mike.
A lot of Star Wars rep, yeah. Harrison, John Williams, Frank Oz.
And then I know you're a fan of The Simpsons.
Yeah, James L. Brooks, great comedy legend. By the way, Who's the Boss? The Laughing Place Star Wars podcast. We just did a tribute to Frank Oz as a director with an episode a couple weeks ago. So check that out. We talked about Little Shop of Horrors and Death at a Funeral, 2 comedies that he directed. So great director as well as a performer. Excited to see that.
Cool. I think my camera's dying. I'm all blue again.
So in the scheme of, not after you've seen them, but in the scheme of the shows, from The Mandalorian to Ahsoka, Obi-Wan, I don't know what else I'm missing here, but
Boba Fett.
Where, in terms of anticipation, where would this rank?
It's probably right in the middle for me. I think I do feel very close to the High Republic because I have been personally covering that publishing initiative since the very beginning. I got to be at the announcement of what it was, which was the last event I covered before the pandemic in early 2020. So I've been on the front lines for the High Republic for the entirety of its run. So I am really excited to see it evolve in that way. Like I said earlier, though, the Jedi Order is not my main focus of interest in Star Wars. I think, to me, they've always been more interesting when they're kind of extinct and only remnants of them remain in the galaxy. And it's less interesting to see a whole bunch of them running around swinging their lightsabers. But we'll see how they handle it. And I'm sure, I haven't watched Russian Doll, which is the show where a lot of this talent comes from. Leslie Headland was the co-creator of that. She's the showrunner on Acolyte and creator of Acolyte. So I don't know. I hear it's good. I hear Russian Doll is good. I haven't had time to check it out, but I hope she's bringing some talent. I assume she's bringing some talent into this show, and I'm looking forward to it.
Fantastic. I'm excited about Acolyte. I put a link in the chat for everyone to be sure to check out. I know that you did kind of just an announcement that the trailer was out and that you're currently in the midst of a deep dive. So I'm
about halfway through.
The way that you can turn a small trailer into an in-depth analysis is a talent, Mike.
Well, it actually really helps me a lot, because now I'm, I watched it this morning a couple times, and I don't know who any of these people are, because they're not. Only one of them has appeared in the books before, Vernestra. So I knew her, but now as I'm doing this trailer breakdown, I'm actually learning, they put up the character names on the StarWars.com site and stuff. So that'll be, all that info will be in there within the next couple hours.
Fantastic. Well,
And this is I should note, this is a Tuesday night release, apparently.
Yeah. So I'm guessing 6 p.m. Pacific time, like they did with, what was the last one?
Okay.
Ahsoka. Yes. Thank you.
Very cool. Well,
But
I
they are
guess
not doing that with Bad Batch.
I guess
Or
we should
X-Men 97.
we should let you get back to your deep dive, huh, Mike?
Okay. Sure. Thank you.
Talk to you later.
Bye. See you.
Oh man. So for those of you who may just be joining us, the big news today was that they have announced the pricing and overall kind of breakdown of what you can expect for the 3 days of the D23 Ultimate Fan Event. So you've got the Disney Entertainment Showcase is the kind of that keynote of Friday, the Disney Experiences Showcase, the keynote of Saturday, and that Disney Legends Ceremony keynote of Sunday. Your price.
I want to bring up something about that. Is traditionally the parks experiences, whatever business unit it's called this week, has been shorter, like an hour and a half. But I wonder if, because you're going all the way to Honda Center, will they flesh that out? Will it be more expansive? I think we all presume they have a lot to say at this point. So. And my understanding is too, they're also going to talk about the Epic Games investment and products.
Yep.
So, that might be a little bit. It might be a good sign that they're like, because no one's going to want to trek to Honda Center for like a 45-minute presentation, like the first D23 Expo where parks ended early. So, I don't, just something to kind of keep in the back of my mind.
Hopefully. And then once again, we've got that Disney, that D23 Fan Pass. That's the Convention Center events only. We have the Ultimate Fan Pass. That's the Convention Center and the Honda Center where those large presentations are. And then the Ultimate Preferred Fan Pass. And that is those two locations, but with show floor seats there at the Honda Center. Be sure to check out Laughing Place for the information on that. And if you're traveling to the area, be sure to stop by our friends at Mouse Fan Travel to help with your travel and your hotel accommodations. Their team is well-versed in the convention center and its surrounding hotels, and they will be quite helpful in your planning for the D23 Expo in August, right? August?
Yes, August.
9, 10, and 11.
Yeah. Happy birthday, Alex.
Kyle's making trouble. Look at this man making waves. Who did that first parks presentation? That guy should be on the.
If Nelson Peltz wins, is he going to do a keynote?
Oh no. So man, lots of.
Did you see the George Lucas news this morning?
I did. He came out in support of Iger, as I understand it. Said that guy knows Disney. That's my summation. Lucas says that guy knows Disney.
He just doesn't know Lucasfilm. No.
Oh wow.
Just kidding.
This is what happens when we get an information dump. We get kind of snarky. Just a little bit of snark over here.
And what's funny is the biggest there. I mean. Do you see the ESPN news?
I don't think so.
They have secured the rights to the expanded college football playoff, all games, including the new first round, through the 2020, the 31-32 season. So
wow.
And the championship game is going to be on ABC as well, in addition to ESPN. So. Making that a little bit more of an event as we start the new year. So, I think everyone kind of presumed that they'd go partners with like a Fox or somebody to kind of share it, but nope, they got the whole kit and caboodle.
Wow, interesting. Oh, well, I mean, I love their Saturday show when I do actually catch it. Which reminds me,
I feel like I should put on a hat, like a head,
like a giant mascot head.
Yeah.
By the way, you were texting.
I should get like a Bob Iger giant head, and like before the shareholder meeting, make my prediction and put on the Bob Iger head.
That'd be so awesome. I would like we have people in the background with all these signs like
Yeah, not so fast, my friend.
that's so Rizzullo.
Get a Grim Reaper mask in case I decide to pick pelts.
Dude. I know, Tony, I agree with you that 2020, 2031, 2032 sound like big years. They're just around the corner.
Yeah, it's not as long. I saw that. I was like, wow, that's a long deal. And then I realized, nope, that's a 6-year deal.
Oh, man.
Good.
So as a reminder, around here at Laughing Place, we're bringing you the latest Disney news and information. So follow us on Twitter, laughing_place. Obviously, visit the website. You can narrow down what you like by clicking on one of the tags. If you're a Disney Parks fan, click on the Disney Parks tag in the article, and then you'll see all of our Disney Parks content because we cover all things Disney. TV, movies, parks, cruise line, merchandise. In fact, later on here at 4 o'clock, I'll be back with our site manager, Rebecca Burbank, to talk about some of the merchandise out there within that Disney universe. So we'll be talking about what you can find at like Box Lunch or Hot Topics and things over at the DisneyStore.com. Let's see, probably even touch on this D23 merch that they announced today that you can pick up only when you're purchasing your D23 ticket. So knowing that those tickets are just around the corner, be sure to look over that merchandise and keep in mind what you may want to add to your cart when you're picking up your fan event ticket.
Yeah, good luck, everybody. I don't know how it's going to go. Yeah. Good luck. I hope you get the ticket you want.
Yep, for sure. And I'm looking forward to all of that mayhem too. We'll be here for that.
And it's not too late to get a Visa card if you need to get a Visa card for the pre-sale. You know.
I will say that my recent experience buying a Magic Key was quite delightful, and I was very happy it was.
It's a pleasure.
Well, because I was on vacation, and the announcement came up, and I was like, "Oh no!" And I want a Magic Key, but I'm on vacation, and I don't want to be hovering over my phone because it's you have to come back in 10 minutes. And so I was really worried that it was about to be me on vacation checking my phone every few minutes for an email. And no, like 20 minutes after if that 20 minutes after I logged in, I got the little, hey, it's your turn. And I got to just buy my ticket, and it was very easy breezy. So I was happy about that. So.
Yeah, I mean, it'd be interesting because I don't know that people really know, for the D23 event, what's going to be popular, right? Like what's going to sell out, what's the price point it should be, because it's the first time they're doing it this way. Yeah. So,
and then we'll get to do it all again when we all make our reservations for what we want to do in the convention center. It's that time of the year.
Yeah, this is not my favorite time of year. Like, I love D23. I love D23 Expo or whatever, the Ultimate Disney Fan Event. But the stress of like, it's like, and then this is just weeks after Comic-Con. So
too much fun. I don't have any of that stress, so I'm just basking in the fun and the excitement. So.
I know. I learned. I have made poor life choices. Is basically what you're learning here.
Yep. I have all of the fun and none of the responsibility. And so with that, I will say goodbye, everyone. We'll see y'all real soon.
Thanks.